Head coach Sean Miller has joined us here courtside. And, Coach, congratulations on win number 4. This is a hard-nosed team you played tonight with an outstanding guard, and they pushed your guys good.
You know, they did. They're as well coached of an offensive team as we have faced. And, you know, we knew going in, especially when you watch them, the movement up and down the court, the movement off the ball, the cutting, the screening, and, you know, it puts you in a tough position. And especially, you know, we knew, again, that Jordan Davis was a terrific player. You know, I think he has a chance to be an NBA point guard. Physically, he's just very, very strong, and you know he dominates the game in many ways because it's not just his scoring, it's his playmaking, it's his ability to put fouls. I thought the game changed in the second half when he picked up his 4th foul. That hurt them, but they do an outstanding job on offense, and they're a difficult team to guard. And to our credit, especially if you look in the second half, you know we outscored them 41-24. It might not have felt that way. But when you hold a team like that to 24 points in a half, and I also thought that one of the things that happened in the game is, you know, Chaz Glotta, number 13, who we knew was an excellent shooter, you can say it, but until a young player in a new team goes through it in the game, they just don't know. And his quick release, and he is outstanding. And you know, he's a great shooter. He's not necessarily a great player, but he's a great shooter. And if you're irresponsible or you're late or you're just not on assignment, all of a sudden 5 threes can change the game. And that's what he did. You know, all 5 of his threes were tough threes, but that's what great shooters do. We have to get to the point where a guy like him can't get 11 threes off. You know, maybe he gets 6 threes, Brian, and he makes 2. Or he makes 3, but that's a big difference between allowing him 11 threes versus 6, and I'm talking about attempts. So that's something we can learn. The other thing is it's the first time we went against the zone, and it felt funny in the first half. Again, we have a ton of new faces out there in different roles, but eventually in the second half, we really settled in, and I thought the last 10 minutes we got great shots. Some of the ones we missed were excellent shots, and that number 6 turnovers is outstanding. Yeah. And we talked about this year's team. We've gotten off to a really good start in that area, and you could feel it. Our ability to make free throws and get to the free throw line, coupled with 6 turnovers, has offset, you know, some subpar shooting. And I think the shooting will even out as we grow as a team. But 6 turnovers, and you know, I can't say enough about Parker tonight. You know, I thought he was the best player on the floor for us. 9 for 9 from the foul line. 5 defensive rebounds, 15 points, 11 assists and 1 turnover. So if you think about that, he's 15 assists and 1 turnover in the last 2 games. Yeah. So he really is settling in, and I'm happy for him because he's worked really hard.
What does he do beyond the numbers? Take away the box score. We were just talking about the value Parker has to your team every night, but tonight in particular.
You know, he runs our team. He's a quarterback. He knows where the other 4 players are. He's really settled into running our system. And I think that a guy like him right now, you know, he's so valuable in making the game easier for his teammates. When you're out there for 60 minutes playing the point guard and the ball's in your hands as much as it's in his hands, and you're 15 assists to 1 turnover, you know, that's outstanding. There's a lot of good plays that are happening because the ball's in Parker's hands.
Is it, I know a lot of it's confidence. What else has made him a better player right now?
A lot of it is just, you're right, confidence. He's practiced with us now for, this is year 2.5 for him. You know, he's practiced 100+ times as a freshman. He did it again as a sophomore, got a lot of game experience. And Brian, everybody talks about the new players in college basketball, but there's nothing like a player that is experienced, that has been through different things. And early in the season, and it is very, very early, when you watch us in November, we're relying on those guys that are more experienced right now, because the younger guys, they're going to do nothing but get better. But it's the first time for everything. You know, tonight was the first time against an offense that moved that way. It was the first time playing against the zone defense. You know, we're supposed to win by a large margin. We were down at halftime. So all those things, if you haven't been through a season before and you're in game 4 of your career, they can create some anxiety. And but even Dusson, I don't think he had a great game, but he was much better in the second half. And there were a couple times in the second half when we needed a basket, and he was able to get us that basket. In the first half, he was kind of like a deer in the headlights against the zone.
And getting Kadeem Allen back at full health, you talked about that experience. That's got to be really valuable here as you head into 2 games in 2 days in Las Vegas.
If Kadeem didn't play tonight, I don't know if we would have won. That's how valuable of a player he is to us. And look, we talked about it. We've lost 10 players from a year ago that were, either eligible to play or have left our program. We're not going to look like a finished product right now. So every game we have to be ready. We had 2 or 3 hard days in a row leading to this game. I think sometimes guys look at me like I'm crazy, but when you've been through these November games like we have, you kind of know what's coming. And when we watched Northern Colorado play offense and kind of watch that point guard, we knew that we were going to have to be really on assignment, playing hard, playing together to be able to get stops against them. And that's what we did tonight. Holding them to 24 points in the second half, a total of 55 points is a credit to our defense. And I don't care what anybody says of what they're supposed to finish. That team's going to win their fair share of basketball games because many times they have the best player on the court, and on offense, they are really, really difficult to guard.
Thanks, Coach. We'll see you Thursday. Head coach Sean Miller, courtside here at McHale Center, where the Wildcats beat Northern Colorado by a final of 71-55. And again, next up is Santa Clara Thursday night from the Orleans Arena.